Call today or stop on in.
This is Tito Santana, and you're listening to Damage 365 Radio. Arriba!
The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, and we're joined at this time by UWA Elite mat technician Eric Corvis. Welcome to the show, Eric.
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's going on? I've been trying to get you on for the longest time. I didn't know it took one call to Dave Swan.
I mean, I have a really tough schedule. I work 7 days a week and wrestle as well. And he hit me up, and I had work early today, so I was like, yeah, hell, I'll do it.
See, I didn't know it was that. I didn't know Dave had that kind of pull. Now I know.
Yeah, he's the boss.
Just want to ask you a couple questions before we get into the anniversary show that UWA Elite is going to be doing. First off, a lot of us have seen you with Superstars of Wrestling and JCW, to name a couple of promotions that you've wrestled in New Jersey, and I know you wrestled outside of New Jersey as well. When did this all start? When you decided, you woke up one day and said, I want to be a professional wrestler?
Well, to be honest, I don't have that moment where I knew I wanted to be a professional wrestler. To be fair, I never planned on being a professional wrestler. It was just something I enjoyed as a fan. I was dating a girl when I was living in Bayonne, and she was friends with two wrestlers known as Dixie and Insane Dragon. They're Jersey All Pro Wrestling alumni. Mm-hmm. And they invited her to come to a wrestling show in Bayonne, and I came with her. And during their intermission, they announced that they were opening up a wrestling school. And it was that exact moment that I was like, yeah, why not? I'll go check it out. And ever since the first day of training, I was hooked. But going into it, I never planned on being a professional wrestler. It just kind of found me. Okay,
that's a different spin on it. And usually, we get the, I was watching it one day, and I said, I can do that, and I was hooked, and blah, 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 and, 20 years went by, and I'm still doing it. So
yeah, definitely not the stereotypical story.
But at least it's a consistent story, which means, wrestling's doing what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to capture the imagination of its fan base, and it lets them know that they can also do that, if they put their hearts to it and they work hard enough. Just like the things our parents always told us, you can be anything if you want, if you work hard enough for it.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Now, I know you, I've spent many times sitting next to you at shows, and I know you to be a very well-grounded fella. Good sense of humor. You have a very good grasp on reality, where some other wrestlers, not so much. And you're very I see you very, you're very entertaining in the ring, whether, you're getting the crowd reaction that you want, or sometimes you don't, and you'll leave and come back, and, then you'll get the crowd reaction you want. And I remember one of the first matches I saw, you took on Chris Steeler, and you used him as a human seat while you read a book in the middle of the ring. And I thought that was kind of where I was like, I like this guy. This guy's funny. It might be gimmicky, but it was something that you won't see on TV, and I thought it was great. And
well, yeah, you gotta have fun with it. And I remember at the end of that match, I almost broke Chris Taylor's orbital bone. I think that was Edison, and it was JCW.
Yes, it was. And I remember you guys didn't. No pun intended, didn't see eye to eye at the end of that match.
No, he was not happy that I kneed him right in his face.
But that's stuff that happens, in wrestling. It's not, people want to say, oh, wrestling's fake, blah, 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 blah. But you know what? Gravity doesn't take a day off. Accidents happen. And, body parts don't know the difference between fake and real. And if they get hit hard enough, they do break. So,
it's so tough when you're part of a community that is looked down upon by some people, because even to this day, people will like, I'll say like I'm a wrestler, and somebody will be like, oh, like high school amateur wrestling. I was like, no, like what you would see on television, like WWE, blah blah. Like, oh, the fake shit.
Yeah.
And man, it really does suck when something you dedicated 14 years of your life gets referred to as fake.
And I'm sure that's got to piss you off.
Yeah, I mean, it's frustrating. Nobody goes to a movie and sits there and calls the movie fake. Like how I just went to see Jurassic World, which might have been one of the most preposterous movies scientifically ever created. But that's not what you're going to the movie for. You're going to the movie because it's going to be entertaining.
And it was.
Yeah. It was very entertaining.
It opens up the imagination.
It even ended with a triple threat match.
It did, and it does exactly what it's supposed to do. It opens up the imagination of, is this possible? Like really? Can this be possible somehow? And it's the same thing with wrestling. It opens up your imagination. It brings you away from reality and into the TV and gets you caught up on the storylines and the soap opera that is professional wrestling. And it, for the average fan, it's great. For your internet crazy fans, they're different. Because they dissect everything and they read every dirt sheet and every little thing written on the internet, and they pick it apart, and they like I always said, the internet ruins wrestling, and it's hard at your level. You're independent, where you're not getting the coverage, and you might not be getting the TV coverage. You might get someone with the camera there. You make it to YouTube, things like that, and it's hard for you to express what you're doing in the ring, whether if you're carrying on a storyline from show to show. So you have to work twice as hard. I feel you got to work twice as hard than the guys on TV.
Yeah, and the thing that annoys me about those particular wrestling fans that you're referring to is the fact that I like to liken to, like, I use metaphors a lot when it comes to wrestling because it's just easier to explain that way. But me personally, I would never buy a ticket to go watch a band that I don't enjoy. So if you're not enjoying a particular company or you're not enjoying a particular wrestler, just don't watch it.
Right.
Why watch something that you are vocally saying that you don't enjoy? Because then it just seems to me that you're watching it specifically with the intention of shitting on it, which then what kind of fan are you really?
Yeah, the one that feels that their word carries a lot of weight in the internet community.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what a lot of people on the internet seem to feel, because there's no repercussions when you're sitting by a computer and you're not looking at somebody face to face. But once again, everybody has the right to feel and say what they think about everything, so that then there's the other end of the coin. Like, what are we really going to do? You should just probably not vanity search yourself on Twitter, because you're going to be really disappointed.
Yeah, and my thing is, if you want to be heard, go to the show and be heard. You want to boo? Go to the show and boo. You have that right. You bought that ticket. If you want to cheer, you pay for your ticket. You go there and cheer. But to sit there on the internet and dissect YouTube video and little hand cams or phone camera video, it's not fair. It has no justification to you guys, the company that you're working for. And then you got these ridiculous sites on Facebook that bash wrestling, whether they call it fake or not, or they call it non-trained. These guys are not trained. These guys, and half of them, they have no idea who these people are. They're being sent pictures and stories of these people, probably because people don't like them. And these people putting them on their Facebook page saying these guys aren't trained. I heard this. I heard that. And, again, you can do whatever you want. It's Facebook, it's social media, it's freedom of the press. But people don't understand that somewhere down the road, that can hurt somebody. Because somebody might see that, a promoter might see something like that and think, oh, this guy's not trained, but yet he came to me for a job. To hell with him. But meanwhile, the guy could be trained.
Yeah, I just feel like it's that way in every form of entertainment now. Like, the age of the fan is dead. It feels like it's just the age of the critic. I mean, you watch sports, you watch different sports teams, and people are shitting all over people. How about like Floyd Mayweather fight? Yeah. Everybody was shitting on it. The Kimbo Slice and Ken Shamrock fight. I mean, it was pretty god awful, but like that's all anything everybody was doing was shitting on it. A movie comes out and people shit on it. A song comes out and people shit on it. That's just what people do nowadays. The age of the fan and just enjoying entertainment for what it is gone. Everybody needs to vocalize their opinion. And everybody needs to almost make it seem like they know better. Where if these people knew better, if any of these fans in any form of entertainment knew better, then they would have the job. And they would be the ones doing it. But they don't. And I think they have this resentment, this jealousy that they need to vocalize. And it's annoying. Why can't people just enjoy the entertainment for what it is in any aspect?
No, I agree with you there. Absolutely. The power of social media has allowed that for everybody to go out. And we're all guilty of it, Whether it might not be music or it might be just something we see on the news that we just turned our stomach and we head to Facebook and we voice our opinion on it. And then...
Yeah, but what happened to just, like, giving your friend a call and venting? Or, like, hanging out with your boys at the bar and talking about it? Like, why does every single opinion need to be posted on social media? That's what's just annoying to me. Like, you can just discuss things with people. I mean, you go out to dinner and everybody's just sitting there on their smartphones and writing down their opinions instead of just discussing it with the people they're out with.
Yep. Well, complaining about the food. Let's get into UWA Elite. Now, there's been things said about the company in the past about not training people properly, kind of a backyard promotion. I've attended numerous UWA Elite shows. That's actually where I first met you, and I didn't see that. I saw a nice, tight-knit family community show with pretty much the same guys got used every show somehow, some way, and in front of basically the same crowd. And there's nothing wrong with that because they're loyal fans. And I really didn't see what this nonsense that was being said. And now, was this something that happened years ago? And they... Like, what's the history of you with UWA?
Well, I mean, I'm not going to lie. UWA did evolve from a backyard wrestling company. That's how a lot of us in UWA Elite know each other right now, is because we grew up together. We started backyard wrestling together, and guys like me and Mike Quest and Arcadia and even Jay Lethal, like Jay Lethal is the Ring of Honor champion right now, and he came up with us as well. We were just a group of guys that loved wrestling, and we built our own ring back in the day. And the thing is if we didn't have that, there's a good chance a lot of us wouldn't have taken that next step and actually become like professional wrestlers. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people in wrestling kind of try to shy away from that backyard aspect, that it's like this unspoken thing. You don't want to talk about it because you feel that people are going to look down at you because you used to be a backyard wrestler. Mm-hmm. and oh God forbid you talk about that. No, like, fuck that. We wouldn't know each other if it wasn't for backyard wrestling. UWA Elite wouldn't be a company right now if it wasn't for backyard wrestling. But I guarantee you every single person in that ring got trained.
Right.
That either went to a reputable wrestling school or trained with me and Quest and Arcadia and guys like that. And not one person would be in that ring if myself or Dave Swan or Mike Quest or Arcadia